Well, I think it's important for every patient to tell their story because to look at the big picture of their life, kind of like the view from 60,000 feet, reflect back over their own patient journey, living with liver disease or the surprise diagnosis with cancer, however it happens. I look at it like the hero's journey as an English teacher. We've all got the beginning of our story, the rising action, and for liver disease patients, cancer is our big apex, or just long-term chronic liver disease that could potentially lead to cancer as we're getting surveillance. And we're all looking for that denouement or the resolution, which I've had. And I love to watch patients create their own patient story. And it's as simple as say, let's look at the before and the during and the after with liver cancer, before I had liver cancer. And that lets you reflect back on, here were my goals, here were my dreams, here's what got destroyed, here's where my life kind of train wrecked. And then look at the during, and here's the people who helped me. Staying optimistic, look at who supported me, look at what I've overcome, look what I've gained. See the knowledge and the strength I never dreamed I'd had. And then to look at the after. And now going forward, here's what my life is. My health journey's ongoing for the rest of my life. So the after is still part of our medical journey. And I think it's important for us as individuals to know this is my story. This is where I've been. This is where I'm going. Acceptance. It helps us to grieve. It helps us to move through the emotion of it. But then watching the power, patient to patient, when someone else reads a patient's story, or when someone else sees someone telling their story. For them to say, oh my gosh, I can see where my story parallels with yours. And then it becomes the bigger part of the human connection. Because there's more and more people living with liver disease. And if we can all just look around and just say, we're not so different. We have so many ways that we're alike and so many ways that if you can make that change, I can make that change. If you can speak up and become a powerful patient voice, I can do that too, even if it's only in my small community. So I think it's important for every patient to tell their story. So I wish every person could know we all have this one bright moment that we live on the timeline of the universe. And if we don't get our chance to shine our light for as long as we can, then we feel left. And I did feel that way myself. I felt like I'd left part of my life undone. We are many, and we are united. And if we all tell our story with one voice, we can raise awareness for liver disease. We can reduce the stigma. We can help to support each other peer-to-peer and working with our medical teams. We can share resources. Our journeys can help us to share more researches with our medical teams so that changes can be made. It's so important for liver disease patients to know you're not alone and your voice is important. If you've got a peer that's been where you've been, someone that you can look at their story, you can look at their pictures and their timeline, and you see a living person, and you're like, I might be her, I might be like that too. People can see, wow, she got so bad. We thought we were losing her, and she's still here. And so I think that gives us courage. And with that in mind, I even started a peer-to-peer meeting where we meet in a Zoom room twice a week with only people who are treating or have treated liver cancer. And that way we're able to be alone and just see each other's face in the group from week to week. What did you find out? How are your labs? Just the details of our life. I think the peer relationship is so important. And that's why patient advocacy continues to drive me more now than ever, because with liver disease on the rise and with the way that we can communicate now, especially since the pandemic, social media has gotten to the point where we can create really strong, intimate relationships with people just through the internet. And so you really feel like you've got a best friend who knows everything about you. And you can call and say, here's what my blood lab says. My doctor says I'm okay. Did you ever have that? And it's like, yeah, I had that too. And it feels so good just to see a patient that looks like us. I think every patient's a hero, no matter where they are in their journey. And Of course, as a language arts teacher, we know the arc of the story, that we all have the beginning of our story and then the apex, and then there's that crisis. And for liver disease patients, our crisis is up here. And many times we live with that crisis for a long time, especially if it's cancer and we're battling cancer. And then there's the climax.